Coastal Radio DAB.
Here we are at Coastal Radio. Of course, that was Alanis Morissette, Head Over Feet. And I'm delighted to be joined by Shelley and Ali from Red Sky July. They were on today, on Sunday, at the British Music Festival here in Blackpool. It's been absolutely, British Country Music Festival, I should say, in Blackpool. It's been an amazing weekend. I have to say, I went in and listened to this gig in particular. I was really excited about it, and they were fabulous. So I'm delighted to have them here. Shelley, how are you? How was that experience today?
It was so lovely because the room in itself is just glorious. The sound is amazing. It's built for acoustics, so our music's quite gentle. So for us, it was like, it's like being enveloped in a hug of sound, you know. So we really enjoyed it. And, you know, I've been to Blackpool as a kid on holiday. We've never played a gig in this room. So it's a pleasure, actually.
There's a lot of history in that room. A lot of big gigs have happened there, and it's a wonderful experience, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I believe because my dad was in a band in the 60s called Brian Paul and the Tremolos, and I think they played some of their first gigs in that room. So there's so much, it just feels a bit magic. I love it.
Yeah. I have to say, and I'm going to say to the camera at this point, that my grandma and granddad met in this room as well.
Hey, oh my gosh, that's so cute, honestly. Yeah. Oh, I love that. That would have been when it was like they danced, didn't they? They used to have dances and stuff. How beautiful.
So, lovely gig, gorgeous harmonies. Let's talk about the band and songwriting. Who does most of the songwriting?
Well, Shelley probably does most of the songwriting. I mean, I kind of do the music, a lot of the music, and then Shelley will write. I usually like think of a guitar riff or a melody, and then Shelley will write vocal lines over the top. But sometimes it's different. Sometimes Haley will bring in an idea, or songs can come from anywhere really. So I just kind of spend my time trying to think of different things to play on the guitar I haven't played before.
No, I get that completely. As a musician, you know, songs can sometimes spring from anywhere. And in fact, sometimes songwriters say, I almost didn't write that, it kind of appeared. And I noticed that you said that about a song in particular on stage today.
Yeah, that song's called Stones and Brambles. And it's sometimes, you know, like you kind of you think you've dreamed it because you're not sure if it's real or not. And then you're like, oh, hang on a minute. No, it's hanging around. It's here. And it just pops out. And it's so lucky because, you know, I do this every day of my life. I'm a songwriter as my job. So, you know, going in with different artists and trying to write for what they like and what their sound is. And sometimes it's not my thing, but I still have to do my job. But when something comes out and you don't have to labor it and you don't have to think about it, it's like a little gift. It's so lovely, yeah.
Fantastic. Just going back over, obviously, the history of you guys, Alicia's Attic, obviously. Was that where you started your music career?
I started my music career with a band called Astral Chime years and years and years and years ago. And then we started Alicia's Attic, and then then I went into just songwriting. Then I became a producer, and from then on, I've just gone into film and TV, really. And then we started Red Sky July when, you know, Ali was in Texas. Ali is in Texas as well, does, you know, the occasional thing, but wanted to just keep that beautiful kind of slide guitar country element of that music, which it kind of moved away from that a bit, didn't it, Texas?
Originally, Texas was quite Americana influenced, like Ry Cooder and the slide guitar thing, and there was a lot of that in the early, even the first 4 albums. But then it got really kind of poppy, and I wasn't really getting a chance to do kind of what I really liked to do. So I always wanted to have like another band that I could do the music I really want to do, which is kind of like more like American style, kind of not really country, but kind of, like alt country, Americana, kind of bluesy, swampy things, and a bit country as well. So I love Graham Parsons and stuff like that. But yeah, just to do something more down that road. Whereas Texas was started that, but it kind of went away from that. But obvious, it worked because it got really successful. So I wanted to go back to doing the bit that wasn't so successful.
You know, it's funny you should say all that, Ali, because you have to. There's a calling, isn't there, into what you really want to be, like, kind of known for, but also just write yourself. It kind of comes out. I have to say though, I think I can hear a lot of that country and stuff. What am I trying to say? All the songwriting that came out of you during the Texas period. You can hear that kind of country influence in there.
I think so. I think, and that's when it was the real. That's when it was the real Texas, because everyone in the band, Charlene loves country music, and there was a lot of that. It started kind of like that, but there was also had a lot of other influences like Prince and like kind of soul music and like Motown and all that side of it as well, which I love as well. But it's- with a band like Texas, you can't stay the same. You've always got to move on. So every album it was moving on and then eventually it got to a point where they were just bringing in other people to do stuff, and the band was kind of less involved in the making the records. Just when it was much more, it just got too big really. And but
You want to do again? I think Red Sky July for all of us was a thing that we thought might be a side project, just for the soul food, and then it became, something that we need to do as a job because it got quite successful back in the, when we first released our first country album, which was 2011. It went to #1 in the country show. We were super happy, but then we were like, oh, okay, we might need to take this a bit seriously now. So we got to do it a bit more.
But in a beautiful way, because it's exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And, inevitably music does, if it is your job, it does become a job. But you really have to remind yourself that, you can do whatever you like. No one's going to, no one says you have to make this kind of music. You choose. So it's a really lovely feeling to know that we choose everything. And if we're not enjoying it, it's because of us.
I completely resonate with that. A lot of the viewers will know that I run a rock academy for kids up here called UpBeat Rock Academy. We started with 20 kids 10 years ago, 350 kids now, and I had 16 bands on from UpBeat at the Illumination Switch and supporting Ollie Murs on Friday night. So I completely get everything you're saying. You've had fabulous careers. Are you feeling at a comfortable point in your life now?
I never feel comfortable. I push myself till I die. I don't know why. I've just got that terrible urge to just keep moving. And there's never a time when I think I've achieved. I'm always trying to do more, bigger, better. And I don't know why, because, I'm very comfortable. My life is really nice. Thank you. I'm blessed and everything, but I can't behave normally.
I think when you do music, you're always striving to do something, improve all the time, and you can't. And if you stay the same, I just don't feel comfortable. I'm always like never satisfied with even guitar playing. Because like I made the mistake of like getting into sort of jazz music a couple of years ago, and now I just feel like terrible about my guitar playing.
How'd you get out of that when you get in it?
Well, I know exactly, but once you're in that, you think, okay, right, all the things I think I knew, I don't know anything. There's a whole world of stuff that you've still got to learn. Sorry. No, and I was just saying that's kind of how my mind works. But people say, "Oh, you're good at the guitar and all," but I'm like, no, not really, because I can't do that with that guy's, and that's always something that drives you sort of forward. I think you're probably the same way, kind of.
Because it means you're always interested in learning, and you'll never know,
Ali's saying it's an unsolvable problem. I agree. If you stop the moment you stop learning, I think something is not there with you anymore, isn't it? I think learning is a great thing. Listen, I know you've got a long journey ahead of you. I'm so delighted to have you stopped by and had a chat. It's been really eye-opening and wonderful to talk with you. Listen, would you be okay if we got your email address and you could send us some of your MP3s? We could play them on the station.
That would be amazing. We're going to download the app of Coastal Radio and we're going to listen on the way home.
So you heard it here on Coastal Radio. We've got 2 new fans, none other than Shelley and Ali from Red Sky July. How cool is that? Thank you so much for joining us. Safe journey home, and thank you for a wonderful, wonderful gig here.
Thank you. We've had a lovely, lovely day. Thanks.
See you, Ali.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure. All the best to you both.
Coastal Radio DAB.